You know, every Christmas movie has its place. You've got It's a Wonderful Life for traditionalists, The Grinch for the kids, and Home Alone for the nostalgia addicts, and then you've got Die Hard, the Christmas movie that Hollywood still pretends isn't a Christmas movie. But whether you think it's holiday canon or not, the truth is the film has one of the wildest behind the scenes stories in Christmas movie history. Exploding elevators, real broken glass, stunts, studio panic, Bruce Willis at the height of his powers, and a villain so good his death became the stuff of filmmaking legend. So get ready, because these are the 10 wild Christmas facts about Die Hard they did not want you to know. So let's get right into it. Pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right, 10 facts that lean into the Christmas a little bit. Don't you worry, there's an explanation coming, but these are wild facts that they probably didn't want you to know. And the first up is Die Hard was originally a sequel to a 1968 Frank Sinatra movie. This is real. Die Hard is based on the novel Nothing Lasts Forever, which itself was a sequel to a book that became a 1968 film starring Frank Sinatra called The Detective. Because of contract rules, the studio had to legally offer Sinatra the role of John McClane at 73 years old. Sinatra politely declined, and they moved on to the next wild option, which is going to be something we discuss in just a minute. And that leads us to that next fact that we're going to discuss, and that is that the studio didn't want Bruce Willis, like, at all. At the time, Bruce Willis was just a comedy guy from the TV show Moonlighting, and an action star, maybe, but a movie star, no way. They didn't see it. The studio's dream casting for this included, first up, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Clint Eastwood, Burt Reynolds, and Richard Gere. So what happened? Every one of them had to say no. Bruce Willis was literally the last choice, and they made an offer to everyone on that list, and they all said no. Bruce Willis took it. Die Hard made him a huge movie star overnight. The next interesting fact is that they hid Bruce Willis from the marketing because of all of that. They didn't believe in him. If you look at the earliest Die Hard posters, it's just the Nakatomi Plaza. It's not Bruce Willis's face. Test audiences didn't respond to him at all. They thought he was too funny or too TV. They just saw him as a TV star. So the studio leaned into the explosions on the buildings and all that stuff, and the tagline instead of an actor. Only after the film became a hit did they reprint the posters with Willis's face on it, with Willis front and center. They didn't believe in him. That's something they really didn't want you to know. And that brings us to a little fact about our big villain in this, and that is Alan Rickman's first ever movie role was Die Hard, and his real fall was an actual fall. So Hans Gruber was Alan Rickman's film debut, 0 movie experience, instant icon, but here is the wild part. When Hans Gruber falls off the Nakatomi Plaza building, Rickman actually fell over 20 feet onto an airbag, which was going to be a perfectly safe stunt. He knew that was going to happen and all that, but here's the twist. They told him, we're going to hold you and we're going to drop you on the count of 3. But after they called action, they started the countdown, they dropped him on 1. So that capture look, his genuine surprise, was real. That expression, totally real. You could see the betrayal and the shock in his eyes in super slow motion. So that fall was kind of real. Another fact that a lot of people don't know that they really didn't want you to know because it wasn't safe is the glass scene was real and it destroyed Bruce Willis's feet. The glass where he's running around barefoot on it, well, Bruce Willis actually cut his feet up really bad because even though it was sugar glass, so like movie magic glass, it kept breaking into razor sharp shard fragments that kept sticking in his feet. And he has scars on the bottom of his feet today from that sequence. There's even a behind the scenes footage of him trying to walk between takes and he can barely manage it. So McClane's pain in that is not really acting. His feet are really cut up. And speaking of more stunts that kind of went south that they don't want you to know about, that exploding elevator shaft nearly went terribly wrong because the elevator shaft, they used scenes of miniatures and explosive and gasoline effects, but the first test blast was so powerful it blew the entire miniature apart. The crew had to rebuild the set, redesign the pyro, and the film sequence in slow motion had to be used to capture all of the motion and still maintain detail and keep it safe. One bad calculation and this iconic shot would never have existed. And here is another big fact that I promise you they don't want you to know because nobody wants to be proven wrong so badly, and that is that John McClane's famous line in the movie was almost cut for being too vulgar, too rude. The old yippee-ki-yay mother... Well, the studio originally wanted a clean, family-friendly version of the catchphrase, so producers argued the line ruined the tone of the movie somehow, and executives said nobody would quote it, that it would kind of ruin everything. Marketing said to cut it out, but Bruce Willis said the line stays or he goes. So the line stayed, and that single line turned into one of the greatest movie quotes of all time, one of the most memorable quotes of all time, and became the center of the entire franchise. Another interesting fact on this that they don't want you to know, but doesn't really surprise you if you think about it, is that the FBI and the LAPD complained about the movie. Particularly the FBI complained about the cut the power grid subplot, and the LAPD didn't love the fact that the movie portrayed them mostly as clueless and hapless. Government consultants kept sending notes asking the filmmakers to portray the law enforcement more favorably. But the filmmakers ignored every note and decided to lean into the satire, because that's what it was. Satire, almost Verhoeven levels of satire. That's why one of the FBI agents is actually named Agent Johnson, and the movie treats him like both of the like caricatures. They're both bumbling. Agent Johnson, no relation. They're leaning into making fun of how they're all one like another and kind of bumbling. Here is another fact that might surprise you, and don't worry, more Christmas stuff is coming. Just wait a minute. This fact, though, Die Hard was actually shot in a real building full of real offices, something that doesn't happen anymore. It would all be green screened and everything else. But Nakatomi Plaza was actually Fox Plaza, the real headquarters for 20th Century Fox at the time. So while they were filming gunfights and explosions upstairs, actual accountants and executives and stuff like that were working downstairs. So employees kept complaining about noises, vibrations, debris, dust from special effects, all that stuff. And the studio basically shot an action movie inside its own office building. And our 10th fact, before we get to some really juicy Christmas extras and settle an old debate, is Die Hard is the reason that action movies at Christmas became a thing. Before Die Hard, Christmas movies were all just comedies, family dramas, tearjerkers, TV specials, all that kind of stuff. After Die Hard, Hollywood realized there was a secret formula. Christmas plus action equals box office gold. So later you get Lethal Weapon, Batman Returns, Iron Man 3, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Violent Night, all of that stuff. But Die Hard invented the sort of violent Christmas action movie, and Hollywood has been decking the halls with those kind of explosions and those type of films ever since. But I promised you more Christmas facts, and here is the old debate. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Well, you can argue it, and even people in the film argue it, but here is the ultimate fact. The director and the writer both say that Die Hard is, in fact, a Christmas movie.
Oh, it's absolutely a Christmas film. I can prove it.
Because we were, all the scratches on the side of the king's tomb, and we had changed the content. And that is how Die Hard became it. We hadn't intended it to be a Christmas movie, but the joy that came from it is what turned it into a Christmas movie.
Even though Bruce Willis has famously said Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, it's a Bruce Willis movie. There's a little bit of ego there. The two guys who actually made the film vehemently disagree with him. That's the director and the writer. The director, John McTiernan, who also did Predator, great director. McTiernan has said in many interviews that Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie because he deliberately leaned into Christmas music, Christmas themes, Christmas imagery, and Christmas irony. He stated straight out, he wanted to make a movie about a man trying to reunite with his family at Christmas and with all the chaos that comes with that. So he used Christmas as a story engine, not just a backdrop. You get all the music, everything else in the film. It's scored with Christmas music. He even has the paper falling at the end to simulate snow falling. And the writer, Steven DeSouza, even said, look, I'm going to go harder on that. It is a Christmas movie. It takes place at Christmas. It's about family, redemption, forgiveness, generosity, and miracles. You've got gifts, giving, sacrifice, Christmas references in nearly every major scene. It's Christmas, Theo, the time of miracles, be of good cheer, all this kind of stuff. And the story ending with peace and reunion and a miracle. If Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie, then Home Alone can't be a Christmas movie either, because Chris Columbus got the idea from Die Hard. He has said it too. So yes, the director says it's a Christmas movie. The writer says it's a Christmas movie. Only Bruce and the people who are wrong say that it is not a Christmas movie. The people who made it said it is. So there you go, 10 wild Christmas facts about Die Hard, plus a bonus look at why the director and the writer absolutely consider it a Christmas film, even if Bruce Willis never has. Let me know in the comments, though, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I want to know from you. There are two types of people, the people who believe it's a Christmas movie and the people who are wrong, but it is okay to be either one. But is Die Hard part of your Christmas rotation? Let me know which Christmas movie you'd like me to break down next and bring you some great facts. And if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to help support what we're doing here even more, you can join my Patreon. Get special members only videos, your name and lights on every single video, and everything helps support the channel, and I really do appreciate it. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas. Yippee-ki-yay. Bye now.